Hi, how's everyone going tonight? Just getting a cup of tea because it is absolutely freezing cold here in Melbourne and I am not enjoying it. Winter is not my favorite time of year and the cold certainly gets to me. So in my little corner of the house in the office where it gets quite chilly, I'm going to keep my fingers nice and warm today. So going to be chatting about winter wellness and how I like to keep my family well through the winter and myself, of course, as well. Mums do not have time to be sick, and the last thing I want is for my children to be unwell too. And we've had a very good track record for 5 years where our kids have not needed any medications, no antibiotics, no Panadol, nothing. And we've literally just had maybe up to 5 days each unwell a year. In fact, there was a couple of years there while we were in Perth where we may have even got away with just 48 hours in total worth of sickness per child. So, that's incredible to only have 2 days out of 365 where your kids are unwell. So I owe it all to Mother Nature's remedies and the beautiful gifts, and especially our essential oils. I'm going to share with you about supporting the immune system, how the immune system works, supporting our skin health, our natural cleansing systems, and also looking at our mood support too. But let's start with who am I? I'm Natasha from This Nourishing Life, and I am a lover of all things natural healing. And this is what lights me up. And I love teaching other people how they can and have more energy and less sickness in their lives as well. So here we go. Let me just have a quick warm up. And I've sadly put down my very warm teacup. So the immune system, how does it work? We have, in our immune system, we have 2 separate sections, and one of them is non-discriminatory to the different types of pathogens, viruses, the bacteria, fungus and parasites, and it's our first line of defense. It's made up of our skin, so our protection from the outside world. It's made up of our gut. It is made up of a whole lot of different little cells that float around your body doing this amazing thing, figuring out when something comes in and decides to try and attack other cells in a negative way. We don't want our cells to be damaged, because as soon as our cells start to become damaged, we get inflammation, and then our immune system becomes susceptible to illness. So even if you are not actually sick, your immune system can be suppressed. And that might be because you're fighting something off, or it might be because you've not been looking after your body in the best way, and you've got things going on. Your skin's not as good as, it's not working as the good protective barrier. Your gut health may be out of balance. You might find that you've got inflammation happening because maybe you've been eating foods that don't agree with your body. So we want to try and support all these different areas of our body, and we want to look at our health holistically as well. And I wasn't always, someone that managed to dodge sickness and keep my body really healthy and strong. About, gosh, how many years ago now, maybe 6 years ago, I stepped out of my comfort zone and I went along to a whole food nutrition talk and learned that there is more to what we're eating, and that it can do so much more for our bodies than just being about calories in versus calories out, because I came from a fitness background, came from being a personal trainer. That's what we're generally taught is weight, calories. So it was the beginning of a turnaround of how I viewed the way I supported my body, especially nutritionally. and I came to learn about Tyler Tolman and just really dove deep into the world of healing your body. That we have, our body always wants to come back to balance, and our body always has this ability itself. That's just what it does. It's how it's programmed. And we need to make sure we're supporting it in a way that it can do what it's trying to do. So our nutrition becomes really important. What we drink, the relationships around us affect our immune system and our body's health, and the air that we breathe and the movement that we do. So I'm just going to read a little something I wrote on how you can make health and well-being in your everyday life. So health and happiness don't have to be complicated. Eat nourishing food, drink fresh, clean water, surround yourself with positive people you love, fill your cupboards with nature's remedies, move your body, find your passion, bask in the sun, breathe fresh air, take a moment to connect, practice gratitude, repeat daily. So that includes our 7 principles of health and the importance of looking at our body in a holistic way. Tonight, of course, I'm going to be focusing on the essential oils, on nature's remedies, and how we can support our body from a natural standpoint with extra tools that you can keep in your wellness toolbox. And the main focus here is essential oils, because this is one of my favorite tools to work with people, to empower people to take their healthcare into their hands. I mentioned that we have different pathogens that attack our body, so things like viruses, bacteria, fungi, and parasites. And what essential oils can do is they have different constituents to them that can help to fight against these different types of pathogens. And we can use these essential oils topically, we can use some of these essential oils internally, and we can use these essential oils aromatically as well to support our health in an overall holistic way. While we're looking at strengthening our immune system with immunosupport benefits from these oils, we also want to look at supporting our skin. So in winter, we often have a lack of circulation to our extremities because it's so cold and our body's trying to pull its warmth back to our core. So sometimes our circulation can suffer, which means you might become more susceptible to, for example, chilblains in the feet, which can be incredibly painful. I experienced in my second winter in Melbourne, it was my first winter in Melbourne, actually. I managed to defeat second winter in Melbourne. So in the first winter in Melbourne, it was so cold in our fully tiled house that I got chilblains on my feet, which are like little red dots, and the skin starts to peel, and it is incredibly painful. You feel it in the joints. And I was determined not to have that happen the second year. And so I looked to my essential oils and thought, what can I do that's going to warm my feet up and help promote circulation? And I created a natural body butter that I then every day to begin with, and then every second or third day after that throughout winter. And I think I got maybe 2 or 3 tiny little red dots, no discomfort, no skin peeling, no trouble with circulation, and it was just such a relief not to experience that again for a second winter over. So we can do so much to support our skin health. If you've got dry skin and it's cracking through the winter, or not maintain balance, then that allows bacteria and viruses and funguses to penetrate a lot easier, and we want to make sure we have a really nice protective barrier to the outside world. This is our very first line of defense. So we want to make sure we're supporting our skin through winter, that we're making really nice, lovely moisturizers and body butters. And if you're someone that struggles with your skin, throw in some beautiful, nourishing oils for supporting skin balance, like geranium and frankincense. We want to make sure we're looking after so if you are someone that likes to eat foods that don't agree with you, winter is a really good time to have another think about that and to look at increasing your anti-inflammatory foods in your diet. So we want lots of fruits and vegetables, up the juices, up the smoothies. And when I say up the juices, I mean fresh juices that you make yourself at home. and just load up the produce into your body. Make beautiful veggie soups and chuck veggies into every meal you make. Fruits and vegetables contain so many different nutrients that are super important for the health of every single cell in your body and nutrition every day. So you need to make sure you are eating enough of them every day. Now, enough of them is not just having a veggie loaded dinner plate. You need to find a way to incorporate vegetables into and fruit into every meal you eat. So whether that's starting with a smoothie at breakfast and then at lunchtime you've got a huge salad on the side, or your food, for example, my food is always based around vegetables. And I pick about 3 or 4 different vegetables and I get about 3 cups worth, and I saute them up and I chuck in some nuts and some eggs and some avocado and some kimchi, and that's my lunch, and it's delicious and it's filling. It's got loads of healthy fats, healthy carbohydrates, and it's got all those nourishing nutrients from the vegetables in there. And it's super simple as well, and I need simple for mum life. Our gut needs to be in balance because our gut is a huge amount of our immune system. We are putting things into our body through our mouth, and we need to make sure our gut is functioning well so that we don't get parasitic overgrowth and we don't get fungal overgrowth as well, or imbalance of the bacteria like candida. We don't want to end up creating excessive mucus in our gut because that can affect absorption of nutrients. We don't want to create inflammation because that can lead towards ulcers or leaky gut. So we really want to put a lot of emphasis on supporting our gut. There are some beautiful oils that help to support gut health, and we can use them topically or internally. And we also want to make sure we are using either a good quality probiotic or, as I like to do, smashing the fermented food. So our kimchi, our sauerkraut, we're trying to choose sourdough where you can. We've started making that ourselves and it's delicious. Kombucha, these different fermented foods are amazing for supporting your gut health. Our mucous membranes need to be protected. So our mucous membranes are within the mouth or in the lungs. So we need to make sure that we are supporting them as well. And the way to look after our mucous membranes is that we make sure we are eating a nutrient-dense diet. As I was saying before, the fruits and the vegetables, the fermented foods, get it all into you. Inflammation is the root of all disease, and this is why I'm really passionate about teaching people to eat more anti-inflammatory foods and teaching people to work towards alkalizing and being really mindful of using things that are synthetic or human created. So if it wasn't easily created, if it had changes to become the new food or thing that it is it a good thing to put in your body? Do we really know the long-term effects of using those processed things? So it's really important that we really stop and think before we use things. And this doesn't go with just what we eat as well and what we drink, because we know that things like, too much coffee and alcohol, these are not great for us either. But we also want to be on our body, and this comes back to skin health too. Are you slathering your body in chemicals? Are you using chemically based moisturizers and creams? They are going to damage the skin, they get into your bloodstream, and we want to support the body in a way that it doesn't have to process all this yuck. So let's eliminate it so the body has less work to do on eliminating the waste. Our eliminatory system, so that's and our cleansing system. So we've got our liver in there that's helping to cleanse. Our kidneys are doing a lot of cleansing for us too. We're eliminating through the bowels, we're eliminating through the urinary system, we're eliminating through our breath. We want to support elimination in the body. Oh, we're also eliminating through our skin. We sweat. That's our body's way of releasing a whole lot of yuck. So we want to make sure we're supporting our natural cleansing systems as well. So if we're creating natural skincare, our skin is going to be able to function a lot better. If we're eating good quality foods, our digestive system is going to eliminate better. If we fresh, clean water, our kidneys will be able to work and flush through the urinary system a lot easier. And if we are using our essential oils to support our natural cleansing, such as lemon oil, grapefruit oil, geranium, juniper berry, oils like that can all help to support the natural cleansing in your body so it can eliminate waste a lot easier. And if it's perhaps not eliminating so well, they'll guide it back towards eliminating in a better way. So let's get proactive with our healthcare. It's really important not to wait until sickness comes. We don't want sickness to come. We need to make sure we get rid of it now. So I've picked out some of my favorite oils for winter, and I'll have a chat about how I use some of these and some of the blends that I've made up as well that we have on hand for winter. And hopefully that will inspire you to take on some of these different tips and tools to support yourself and your family. So the first one, while we're talking about cleansing, let's pull out lemon oil. Lemon oil is beautiful and fresh. It's actually really great as a oil that helps to break down petrochemicals. So with environmental toxins and helping your body to work to eliminate them, you can use it to clean fruits and vegetables if you're not purchasing organic, and it is also great for cleaning surfaces in your home as well. So it's great in terms of your winter cleaning regime. So I love using lemon, a couple of drops in my water each morning, and I team that up with some fresh lemon juice too. So I'm getting this really big alkalizing hit from the fresh lemon juice, and I'm getting all the concentrated benefits of the lemon or drops of lemon. Now I'm adding this into around 500 mils of water, and I'm smashing back that 500 mils of water, and then I'm following it up with just some fresh water with nothing in it. And usually it's another 250 to 500 mils. So all up in my first couple of hours of waking, I'm getting in a litre of water. And what this does is it helps to stimulate my digestive system so that it is ready to welcome food into it and process it properly. It helps to support the elimination through the digestive system. So if you are not a toilet seeker on first rise, then you want to make sure you are getting in some things that are going to help you to get everything moving and start stimulating everything. The ideal elimination from our body happens as soon as we wake up. If we wake up, our body starts kind of going, okay, and you head off to the toilet. That's how well our digestive system should eliminate in the morning. And if it's not, smash that water back, water to do so. Lemon oil will help with stimulating that digestive function too. Then, as I said, I struggled in winter with chilblain, my very first winter here in Melbourne. So I created a body butter full of warming essential oils. I had ginger oil in there, which is really beautiful and warming, supports our circulatory system. It is also a antispasmodic as well, so to relax tenseness in your muscles. It's a great antispasmodic in the digestive system as well. So if you're feeling some spasming and it's not so comfy, great on the digestive system too. Amazing digestive support actually. It's a stimulant, so it's going to help to stimulate circulation. It's going to help to support the reduction of inflammation, and it's also neurotonic, so it's really good for your nervous system too. So ginger, I added that with cypress, and I also put in some other warming oils such as black pepper and cinnamon bark, and it was just amazing. I did, as I said earlier, I did it with my feet. So ginger is on my must-have list as well, because ginger also teams up with our Digest-Zen to support our digestive system. So if you are struggling in winter, because in winter we are drawn towards eating heavier foods to help keep our body warm, so we don't always want to have the cold smoothies and we don't want to have the cold juices, and we might have them, and then at lunchtime we want something really filling and warming, and that just makes us feel comforted in the middle of our body. That in traditional Chinese medicine, in winter we don't eat cold, damp foods, we eat warming foods. So if you are doing that in winter and you're finding that you're then struggling with your digestive system, pull out the Digest-Zen. Pop a drop in water before each meal and drink that back. So just a little bit of water. We don't want to drink too much water before we eat, but just enough to carry that Digest-Zen into your stomach. Eat your meal, and then if you need to, you can rub a drop on the outside of the stomach as well, dilute it in some. If anyone gets some tummy upsets in winter, gastro tends to come around more so in the summer months, I find, but if it does come around in winter for you, Digest-Zen is beautiful for supporting yourself through that. So use the Digest-Zen topically on the stomach to help support any bloating, cramping, and discomfort. And if you can stomach it internally, that drop will just help to work through everything. So for our children, just using it topically. Our everyday immune support. So On Guard essential oil, our protective blend designed to support you through any times where your body is being threatened by environmental pathogens. So On Guard, I love, I have a roller made up, ready to go. So just in a roller bottle like this, diluted appropriately for my family, for whoever I'm using it on in the family. And that goes spine, and if I can get at them, it goes on their feet as well. But generally, I just manage to get at their spines before they run away from me. And that helps to support your immune system through winter. So I think this is one of our big keys to keeping ourselves well, is using our On Guard with its beautiful oils in there, wild orange, clove, cinnamon leaf, cinnamon bark, eucalyptus and rosemary. It's brilliant at boosting the immune system. Now, if you do become unwell, you might want to go further than just the On Guard. Our tea tree oil, our lemon oil, and our oregano. And these 4 oils here become our winter warrior blend. And it's just that. It's the warrior blend that will help you fight against what's going on in your body. So we've got, from these oils, we've got antibacterial benefits, antimicrobial benefits, anti-inflammatory benefits, anti-parasitic benefits, antiviral benefits. We have so many benefits coming from these 4 oils. Now, we want to be oregano for too long. It is a very hot oil. So we just be mindful of using that for more than 10 days. But you can create this blend, and I use it internally myself if I think if I'm threatened or surrounded by people that are unwell. I make up a blend of equal parts into a little dropper bottle, and I pop 4 to 5 drops from my dropper into a capsule, and I take that 2 to 3 times a day for 2 days, and that tends to prevent down with anything. So that's my little go-to because I don't have time to be sick. I keep it made up in a roller bottle, appropriately blended for the children. And if anyone does seem like they're going to become unwell, it goes on the bottom of their feet, down their spine, and literally within 6 hours, they're generally full of beans again, on the mend, and most of the time over it. So it is a super amazing blend. Tea tree oil is fabulous if you might struggle with damp skin conditions, so where we get the fungus that tends to want to set up camp. So perhaps you wear slippers all winter long, or your feet never come out of shoes or socks during winter because it's just so damn cold. Tea tree oil, and you could even pop in some lemon oil. They're a couple of great oils. They're going to help to support the skin on your feet as well. So if that's something you struggle with, some baking soda with a few drops each of your lemon and your tea tree, and use that to shake into your shoes and your slippers, just a little bit, every few days, to help prevent anything growing inside there. Make sure you're washing your socks often as well. And you can make up a beautiful balm using 1 tablespoon of beeswax and half a cup of liquid carrier oil. Melt the beeswax, warm up the carrier oil, add it to your beeswax, mix it together. As it cools, beat it up, and once it's starting to solidify and come together, thicken, you can add in your essential oils, and then you just use that daily on your feet. Got easy air here because winter is a time of a lot of respiratory illness, and easy air was designed to help open up the airways and help combat the things that can affect our respiratory system. I love diffusing it at nighttime. I find that it then means we get restful sleep, and you wake up in the morning without having suffered through the night. So you're getting a good sleep, which is really important for healing your body. But you are also supporting your respiratory system during that time. So if you're someone that likes to take cough liquids and things like that. Well, you can only take them when you're awake, and then you go to sleep for a little while, you get a little bit of relief, and then you wake up, you've got to take it again. Your sleep is broken. Get your easy air diffusing. You can also pop some on topically, and that's going to help you far more than any liquid cough medicine can. Now, if you're feeling like you've got that tickle in the throat and you want to support your throat and it might be uncomfortable, you can gargle a drop of On Guard and a little bit of water, or even in some coconut oil, and do some oil pulling with a drop of On Guard in your oil. And that is going to help because it's got the clove in there. It's got that natural numbing effect. So it is brilliant for supporting the throat. Also brilliant for supporting the throat is tea tree. So if I ever feel like I'm getting a bit scratchy on the throat, I get my tea tree roller out and I roll it over my throat, and I'll often find that in the space of an hour, I'm all good to go again. And I'll just reapply that as needed until I don't need it anymore. And often it's only a few times. The next day I'm all good. What else have we got here? So muscle aches, and that affects people through winter. So we pull out the ginger again. We pull out our frankincense because it's got beautiful anti-inflammatory benefits. And when we've got aches and pains, you betcha there's inflammation going on. So pull out the frankincense, add it to the warming ginger, and also grab out your marjoram as well. So marjoram helps to support optimal circulation by dilating the blood vessels. So in winter they want to constrict up and tighten. So marjoram is going to help to allow your circulation to flow a little easier. It is also a antispasmodic, so if you're getting any cramping or tension, it's going to help with relieving that. It is antibacterial, antifungal. It's also really great for sleep too. So marjoram, ginger, and frankincense together can become a really great support for aches and pains in winter. Throw in some cypress, and you've got a great blend for supporting circulation on top of the aches and pains as well. Frankincense is one I love to use internally to support inflammation. So I love popping a drop under the tongue if I want to support my whole body, so systemic, or if I'm using it react because I'm feeling like my head's a bit tired, got a bit of tension. Perhaps I haven't been doing all the things I usually do, had a busy day, I didn't eat lunch, I haven't drunk enough water, and I'm feeling a bit of head tension. Pop a drop or two on my tongue, and then I press it up to the roof of my mouth. And as I'm pressing it up to the roof of my mouth, I try and get up to the soft palate at the back, and that's going to help to support, to interact with the vagus nerve that's back there. And I just hold it there for as long as I can, around 30 seconds. And that just helps to calm down the nervous system too. This way to get our essential oils having an impact on our brain. So we're going to get that localized effect first, whereas when we're going here under the tongue, this is our fastest way to get absorption through the mucous membranes into the bloodstream to support whole body wellness. The oil goes where it's needed. Let's have a look. So let's build upon, I kind of skipped a bit there, but I wanted to build upon easy air and respiratory support. So if you are a family that really does struggle with chesty, for my eldest daughter, chesty stuff seems to be her thing. And she's in a room where her head is right next to the window, and we just can't do anything about that. We can't change the way her room is configured. And so she is my one that will struggle more with getting a bit of a cough from time to time. So I have a rub that I use for her. And in the rub, it is made up with the balm recipe from before. So 1 tablespoon with half a cup of liquid oil. And I generally use fractionated coconut oil for this one, but if you're making a skin nourishing balm, you might want to use something like jojoba or sweet almond or apricot kernel. And into here, I use the Easy Air, the respiratory blend. I use marjoram, I use lemon, and I use cedarwood. And these 4 oils together support with opening up the airways. They support the body to get rid of excess, so they're mucolytics. They're antispasmodics, so they're going to help to support the relaxing of these muscles, and they just do such an amazing job. Everybody that uses this blend and uses this rub raves about the relief they get. So I just make it up, keep it in a little jar ready to go. and it's too easy. We just pop that on before bed, pop a little bit on in the morning before school, and she's all sorted. While we've got out, let's use our oils to help support us with sleep. So cedarwood helps to quiet the busy mind. In winter, I find, because we're not getting outside as much, we're not as connected to nature, sometimes our brains just don't get that relaxation time that they need, and then they struggle to switch off because of it. So we want to make sure we're getting a really restful sleep, and cedarwood is so good for supporting that. So it's calming to the nervous system, and it helps to just on that mind chatter that might be occurring for you at nighttime. As I said, the marjoram does have a sedative benefit. So if your body needs to find sleep, it will guide you towards it. It's not necessarily going to make you sleepy during the day. So if you do need to use it during the day, that's fine, but it does work beautifully if you need to use it at nighttime. So marjoram and cedarwood. Then I also like to pull out the frankincense, which is a beautiful calming and grounding oil. So these three together work beautifully. You can pop them in the diffuser, or you can make a blend up that goes feet. I love to pop balance oil actually onto my wrists as my nighttime support. So our grounding blend. And then I diffuse the easy air because my husband is a snorer, and I don't get a good sleep if he's snoring. So easy air actually works fabulous for him, and easy air helps if I've been eating dairy, which is not a food that agrees with me and makes me get stuffy sinuses. The easy air works amazing to support my sinuses through the night. And I wake up feeling clear and ready to go, so I can indulge occasionally, because we all like to indulge occasionally. But balance oil is an amazing grounding oil, and in winter it's really important that we support our emotions, because hands up, who feels a bit down in winter? It's cold, it's dreary, the sun's not shining, we're getting a lack of vitamin D, and when you start to feel down, sometimes it's hard to get back up. And I didn't realize last year, so our first winter in Melbourne, it wasn't so bad. It was a new place, it was exciting, we were doing all these different things, we were getting outside, exploring new areas. Second year in Melbourne, we'd been there, done that, we didn't need to go see all these new things anymore, and we stayed inside a lot. We became very, very much homebodies, snuggling up against the cold, but it meant that we weren't, well, I wasn't especially, getting outside in the sunshine, whatever sunshine there was. So I became, or I got what would known, which is commonly affective disorder. I didn't realize that I, at the time, had become so susceptible to this. But obviously not getting enough sunlight really didn't do any good for me. Whereas in Perth, I was doing personal training with clients year round, constantly getting sunshine. And of course, we have, much better weather over there too. So when the sun rolled around in spring, I realized how much I'd missed it, because all of a sudden I was sitting outside in the sun to drink my coffee to get warm, because it was warmer in the sun than it was in the house, and I felt alive again. So this year I'm really my veggie garden's going amazing outside, so I'm making sure I get out there during the day a few times a week and spend some time out there connecting with nature and getting that fresh air and getting the sunshine and supporting my emotions. But my other emotional support, is my go-to, is always balance. It goes on my wrists, I rub it in, I have a little breathe of it, and at nighttime it goes on my wrist to support me for sleep as well. And then at nighttime, oh, it's so good. I sit there just with my wrists, with my hands up on my face for a few breaths and breathe that in deeply. And then once I have done that, I relax my body and I do a little bit of energy work and meditation. So I generally would do a little bit of Reiki. If you know what Reiki is, it's a beautiful energy healing system. I do some meditation, and I just allow myself to fall back into sleep, and it just works amazing. Generally, I realized that I fell asleep before I even really got to concentrate on doing much at all. So it just works perfectly. I throw in spikenard with it as well, because that's the oil of gratitude, and that is the state that I want to drift off to sleep in, is one of gratitude. What else have we got here that I haven't covered? So I've pulled out wild orange as well. So wild orange is an amazing uplifter for our mood. It's actually a really good immune support too. So orange in any immune support blends that you'd like to. But wild orange without balance is a beautiful way to help uplift your mood through the day. Get them in the diffuser. Use that bright bubbliness that wild orange brings about. You know, imagine digging your nail into a fresh orange and that spritz of natural essential oil that comes out from the zest as you dig your nail in to peel it. That is what wild orange smells like. It's soft and it's uplifting and it's vibrant and it's just so damn good. So wild orange is an amazing mood support for you. I actually created a blend when I ran this as a hands-on workshop a couple of weeks ago called Feel the Light. And if you go to my Facebook page or if you sign up for this webinar, so I'll pop the link in the comments below where you can sign up for this webinar, and you will be able to get sent the recipe for Feel and Create It yourself, or pop over to my Facebook page. I can do that. I can pop the link straight in as well. And Feel the Light is about preventing yourself from slipping into the darkness, allowing yourself to feel like you are getting the sunshine every day. It is grounding. It helps you to see clearly. It has ylang ylang in there for lightness of heart. So that's our oil of the inner child. And it's got grapefruit in there as well, which is about honoring the, and often I find people slip back a lot with self-care in winter because we're too busy thinking about being warm and cozy and comforted that we actually forget to do the self-care things. So you then see just, you know, when spring's coming on, everyone's now jumping out for the diets and not happy with what their body's looking like and how they're feeling. And that comes from supporting ourselves through the winter and realizing that we can't just go because all we want to do is be cold, be warm and comforted. So Feel the Light roller blend in a 10 ml roller bottle. We've got 15 drops of balance in there, 4 drops of frankincense, 4 drops of wild orange, 3 drops of clary sage, 4 drops of grapefruit, and 2 drops of ylang ylang. Top it up with fractionated coconut oil, so it's a very light oil with no scent. And it's just such a beautiful blend. And it's uplifting. And the girls that chose to make this roller blend at our Winter Wellness workshop said they have just been loving it so much, using it lots, and it's really supporting them. So I, of course, I'm going to be using this when the real winter starts to hit and I need to make sure that I am on point with my mood and my emotions. So I have my daily practice in the morning of aromatic dressing to set myself up for the day, and I'm going to be making sure I've always got a roller bottle of mood support with me through the winter, especially looking at this beautiful one. And so I also made up 2 other roller blends. Now, if you would like those recipes, do make sure that you let me know your email, that you do register, because there were 3. So there's the Wellness Warrior blend, Winter Warrior blend that I chatted about earlier. And then I also created a blend called Ease and Flow, which helps to support with poor circulation, feet, general stiffness, and things like that. So it's a beautiful blend that's great if you really struggle with your lymphatic system and your circulation and your muscles through winter. So this is a blend with cypress, cassia, marjoram, frankincense, and ginger in a 10 ml roller. So I'll pop the link for signing up to the mailing list for this event so that you can get the recipes sent out to you. One last recipe I will share with you quickly is the amazing immune honey, and this is one that my kids absolutely love. I have this on hand for them to use as many times a week as they want to. So I've created it in a blend for daily use if that's what they wish. It is 1/4 cup of raw honey. So we want to make sure we're using raw honey for its natural antibacterial benefits, its immune support benefits as well. If you can get local raw honey, that's even better, because that's coming from the trees and plants that are local to the area, things that can affect you, that come at your body. So if you're someone that struggles with pollens through spring, then using raw local honey can be really useful for helping to support you through those allergies. It's then got 1/4 cup of unrefined coconut oil. We want to soften the coconut oil but not melt it, and mix it up with that raw honey. Then we're adding in 5 drops each of our On Guard blend, 5 drops of our wild orange, and 5 drops of tea tree. And you end up with this beautiful immune support. It's lovely. If you're in cold Melbourne, it just stays on the spoon. You can put that into a cup of water and use it as a warm drink. You can eat it straight off the spoon, and I'm going to eat that one once we're done here. The kids just love to eat that themselves. They get really annoyed that they can't have a second spoonful. Actually, they love it that much. And you can also pop it onto things like if you're making some beautiful whole grain or pancakes and things like that. So we love making waffles and pancakes out of bananas and oats and wholemeal spelt and some egg, and blitz that all up, and it's delicious. And you can pop on that beautiful slightly spiced citrusy immune honey and use that as a natural topping, minus all the refined yuckies that you get in regular syrups. So immune honey is a little bit multi-purpose, and you're doing a really great thing for your kids at the same time. So I hope that you have loads on how you can start to support yourself this winter. If you've got any questions, pop them below. This is one of my favorite areas to work on, supporting the body to heal naturally and preventing illness. If we can prevent illness more often, then we can help to support our bodies to heal more, instead of just healing from sickness. Let's heal from just the rigors of everyday life and work towards reducing inflammation and other things that can come along if we are constantly attacked and bombarded. Our immune system is so important to the optimal function of our body and preventing disease. So if we can start now teaching ourselves and teaching our young ones how to support their body naturally, then it can only get better from here. So if you would like to know more about using essential oils, perhaps you don't have beautiful doTERRA essential oils in your life yet, and you would like to have these oils in your life so that you can use them in all the ways that I've mentioned. So not all oils can be used in all of these ways. Not all brands are created equally. If you would like to get the beautiful doTERRA oils in your life and you'd like to get them for 25% off, so the same price that I pay, then please let me know. My email is below in the description, and you can send me an email and ask for more information. I love chatting with people and getting on the phone and helping you to find natural supports to support yourself in a healthy and vibrant life. So I hope you all have and a wonderful evening. Thank you for joining me.